Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into this instructional lower body stretching video. I'm going to be going through the motions and explaining each and every stretch of every muscle group of the legs and also the hips. So before I talk about the stretches and go into detail with them, it's really important to know when the best time to stretch actually is, and that is the night before or immediately after the exercise. So if you're going to do legs tomorrow, stretch today or after you work out. The reason being is when you are exercising, your muscles are very tense and they need to be that way so that you can perform optimally. When you stretch, you're forcing the muscle to relax, and that's not going to give you optimal strength or performance by any means. So will stretching in between your sets and before exercising, will that benefit you? Not as good as doing it the night before or immediately after, but it's not going to hinder you. So if that helps you warm up, get warm, then go for it. I just got done training legs, so this is a perfect time for me to stretch. So I'm going to start with the quad stretch. This is your front thigh. You're going to start by holding onto something for stability. The opposite hand, you're going to grab the ankle of the leg that you want to stretch, and you're going to pull that leg back, keeping your head and chest up and reducing the angle between your lower leg and your thigh. So really pulling that ankle in. Make sure your knee is pointed straight to the ground and not out to the side or in. Knees down and back. This is going to give you the best stretch, making sure your head and chest is up, almost like you're doing a scorpion. Make sure you're doing both sides equally. So each of these stretches should be held for 15 to 25 seconds. If you need more stretching, then you should be on the higher end of 25 seconds, versus if you don't need that much stretching, then 15 seconds is probably good for you. Next stretch is going to be for the hamstrings, which is the back of your thigh. So a lot of people would just go and touch the toes, but that's not doing anything for the hamstrings. I didn't feel that at all, and I got tight hamstrings, so I should feel a hamstring stretch when I'm doing it. But it's a lot of stress on the spine, the lower back, and just don't ever do that again. Once I show you the stretch, you will. It's a lot easier, one, and anyone can do it. It doesn't matter. Not everyone could touch their toes, but everyone could do the stretch. So we're gonna focus on one leg at a time. You're gonna stick your foot out a little bit, plant your heel firmly on the floor, point your toes a little bit, and you're gonna kick your butt out. That's probably the most important part, is kicking the butt out. So you can do this wrong by just having the foot here and then coming down, but you're just doing the same thing as touching your toes. I felt that completely in my lower back. So kicking the butt out, lengthening your legs, keeping the legs straight, really stretching the hamstring, just kicking the butt out. I'm not even really bending over that much, but I can feel the stretch starting to happen. So you're stretching the hamstring, kicking the butt out, and then you're leaning forward. You don't even have to go down that far. If you feel this in your calf, then chances are, well, the calf is being stretched, obviously, so you need to point your toe down more. For me, this works best when my foot is almost flat on the ground. Not quite, though. I mean, yeah, it could be. That works too. Most of your weight should be on your back foot. Next up, we got the calves. So we're going to do the exact same thing as the hamstring stretch that I just demonstrated, except the only difference is you're going to pull your toes back towards you, and then you're going to kick the hips out, and I already feel it right now. You don't have to bend down as far for this stretch as you do for the hamstring stretch, so that's good. Really focus on bringing your toes back. The harder you pull your toes back, the more you're going to feel it. Okay, I'm going to start on the glutes now. We're going to work up to the hips. You're going to lay flat on your back. You're going to pull one knee to your chest. And this is a good lower back stretch too, actually. For lower back, you would pull both of your knees to your chest. For the glutes, you're going to pull one knee at a time, the other leg straight out and flat on the ground. So the trick here is to pull not just straight up, but a little bit to the side too. So you're pulling across your body. You're gonna have one hand on your knee, the other one on your ankle, and you're gonna pull this way towards my right shoulder. You'll feel that a lot more than just pulling straight up. Gotta do both. So same thing, pulling to this shoulder now. Left hand ankle, right hand knee, pull in. So next I'm going to work on the IT band, which is not a muscle, by the way. The IT band is located on the side of your leg right here. It splits the quad and the hamstring, basically, runs right here. So there are a couple ways to do the IT band stretch, or to just loosen the IT band. And I'm going to go through those right now. You can get something like this, a stick. It has handles on both sides and a hard rolly surface right here. So you can just roll aggressively on IT band. And usually the IT band is pretty tense and tight on people, so it should hurt like a lot. This doesn't hurt that much. So this is one way to do it. This is the easy way out of the torture. The other way is using this. This is called a TheraCane, like a therapy cane. It has massaging ends here on the cane and also on these handles. I'm gonna do an upper body stretching video. Haven't decided when, but I will be featuring this. You can also use it for your back, traps, lats, chest. So I'll be using that in the future, but for now, you can actually use this on the IT band. You can stick one of these pegs onto the IT band and just rub it out using a lot of pressure. I don't like it. So that's another way to do it. Yeah, so this is probably the best way to do the IT band, to loosen up your IT band. So what you're gonna do is place the foam roller where you want it, and you are going to lay sideways, making sure that your knees are pointed directly in front of you, and that your IT band is what is touching the foam roller. Now you're going to be brave and bring your feet up off the ground, and you're going to roll back and forth using your hands to guide you. Oh my god. I should do this more because this is very painful, but as humans we tend to avoid pain and seek pleasure, and this is not a good experience. Okay, but I gotta do both sides. This is hands down the best way to loosen up your IT band. There's no getting around it, really. I mean, you could use those other tools and the stretch that I'm going to show you after this clip, but this is the best way to see results. A lot of people have tight IT bands, so if you really want to do something about it, you got to do this. How badly do you want it? I was doing fine up until now, so I don't think I want it too much. And my feet aren't even off the ground, so you could do that too to lighten the intensity. Keep your feet on the ground, and you're gonna kind of hold yourself up with your feet and your arms, and then just lightly put your weight onto the foam roller. Okay, I'm glad that's over. So the actual stretch for the IT band is a little strange, orthodox, but let's say I'm going to stretch my left side. What I'm going to do is put my left foot behind my right. So your back foot is the side that you're stretching, and it really helps if you have something to hold on the opposite end, the opposite side that you're stretching. I'm pretty experienced, so I don't need it. But, so I'm stretching this IT band. I'm gonna use the same hand and go up and over. And then I'm gonna kick my hips straight out. Not back and not forward. Just straight out to the side, reaching up and over. I will feel that. This is probably the second best option that you have to loosen up the IT band. The first being the death roller. Really kick the hips out. This is the hips are the key point, the main part of stretching this, the most important part. And switch. So right side now. Right foot behind the left, hips out, reach up and over with the right hand. All right, next is the inner thigh stretch. If you have tight adductors, the muscles in the inner thigh, the adductors, the inner thighs, that's what we're stretching right now. If you have tight adductors, chances are when you squat heavy and you tend to compensate, your knees will actually buckle in as you press up. I see a lot of people have that problem, including myself. So it's really important that you stretch out your adductors regardless of if you have them tight or not. But those who have them tight like myself should do them more, which I don't and should. But so feet apart, kind of wide apart. I'm gonna stretch this thigh, so I'm gonna go to the opposite leg, bend this leg, even point the toe out a little bit on the opposite leg. Keep this foot straight out, and then keep the leg straight. Come down, keep my head and chest up, and I can even stretch it a little bit more by leaning over. My calves are shaking. Had a good calf workout. So now it's time to stretch the hip flexors. The hip flexors actually start up here in your abdomen and then come down to about mid-thigh. So they run through your hip and help bring your knees to your chest. So, I mean, when you're sitting in an office for a long time, these muscles will actually become tight and even shortened if you're working a desk job for too long. So it's really important to stretch them regardless. I have tight hip flexors probably from all the school I've been forced into taking. But so to stretch that, you're gonna have, I'm gonna stretch this side. So point the back toe out a little bit and then have your front toe pointed forward, and you're gonna come forward on your knee, head and chest up, and keeping the back leg straight. You're gonna drive the hips down and forward. I'm going to change angles. Same hip, back foot pointed out a little bit, and front foot, toes facing forward. Come forward on the knee, head and chest up, that's really important. And driving the hips down and forward. Bringing the hips, try to bring your hips to your heels. Not literally. My hair is getting long. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you found this video helpful. Had this topic requested to me by my client Jeff, so thank you, Jeff. Sorry I didn't get to you in a timely fashion. He suggested it like 2 or 3 months ago. But if you have suggestions for me, burning questions that you need answered, or things you're just curious about, go ahead and comment below, and I'll take them into consideration for my next video. And this was the second video of my 12-week series. So I'm doing one video each week of my 12-week prep period for my competition in July. So I haven't decided on the next one, so maybe your topic will be selected if I like it. So thank you guys for watching. Like this video if you thought it was helpful, or if you just liked it. Comment if you have any feedback or suggestions for my next videos, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.